Welcome to Two Mice on My Bookshelf, where I talk about whatever's on my bookshelf. It was books for a while, and lately it's been fountain pens. So it is Hobonichi season, and a variety of different content creators converge and talk Hobonichi once a year. And here I am talking about Hobonichi 2021 and 2022. So if you remember, I did a review of my experiment with the various formats of Hobonichi 2021. I will link it up here in the eye in the sky or at the end of this video. And I want to show you what happened or what didn't happen to my Hobonichi Weeks 2021 that was supposed to be my blood pressure log. It's supposed to be finally my effort after over 20 years of suffering from this disease, of being an adult about it, take responsibility, measure my blood pressure, and actually know what I'm talking about when my specialist asks me once a year or so. Making sure that I'm not delinquent with taking my blood pressure medication, which I have been taking since 2006, which is when I did a biopsy to my kidneys and was informed that my kidneys were functioning or will be functioning from then on at very reduced capacity, about half or less, and how my blood pressure is very much attached to the functioning of my kidneys. And of course, pregnancy is highly stressful to the kidneys and blood pressures and such. And here it is. Finally, in October, I used this book. Finally, in October, after 9 months, I've entered my first entry, which I had entered in a variety of different books before this, and I don't know why, but it's scattered all over my memory keeping journal, it's scattered all over my dream journal, it was scattered on, and then it was just crowded by the other information, and it was so hard to scan through to see where things are at. It took a very stressful 2 weeks, an extremely elevated blood pressure for me to decide that I need to be able to scan my blood pressure without all the other stuff around it. So much so that it's so hard to look for the information that I need. And that's when I decide that yes, I do in fact need another book. Before that, I wasn't sure, and I'm highly resistant to the idea of multiple journals or multiple planners or multiple notebooks or multiple tracking. But I did try all at once a variety of different Hobonichi formats this year, and I think that wasn't ideal. I was stretched too thinly, and this, which is important, fell through the cracks. So as you can see here, I take multiple measurements because I can't trust that small portable home device that measures my blood pressure. I took that at between 820 to 850. I took my medicine and then I measured it, and as you can see, it's elevated and it's slowly dropping by 850. My mistake was to take all of the medicine at once at night when I was supposed to take most of the medicine in the morning and then the rest at night, given that we are more exposed to situations which might elevate our blood pressure during and throughout the day instead of when we are asleep. So the logic is there. I knew it. I know that for years. I have known that for years, and yet I was lazy, or it's very hard when you're living with something for half of your life. It's about 20 years now, and it's very hard to maintain a level of alertness throughout the decades. And lately, I've been slacking off for one reason or another. And I think this is probably why I feel the need to record it. And by looking at that, I'm forced to face the fact that taking my medicine so late at night have allowed my blood pressure to be so elevated by the end of the day. Um, and it's forcing the issue. Do you know what I mean? It's forcing the issue for me, and it is alerting me. Um, Otherwise, it's just sitting in the back of my mind. And I'm also forced to really pay attention to how many times my blood pressure is elevated in a week and in a month. But I didn't start until October, so this whole thing is empty. Um, the paper is lovely, and I would like to make use of it, so I am going to potentially return next year, redate this, and carry on in 2022. Or I'll just do this for something else. I'll just ignore the dates and then just use this as a plain notebook. I don't know. I will let you know next year. I have allowed myself to wonder whether an A5 large one is better to put this type of record. As you can see, it's already crowding here, AM, PM, and then for each AM and PM, I'm doing multiple measurements like this. So an A5 might be better. If I decide that the A5 cousin, where I track both diet, my protein intake, my water intake, and all the rest of it, plus my blood pressure in the same book, then I will have all this at the front to be repurposed for something else. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm confident that I'll find a way to use it. So yeah, so just showing you here, literally only started this 2021 weeks that I was supposed to start in January. I only started in October, and it served its purpose for now. Just forcing me to be an adult about taking my medicine is certainly quite sobering, seeing how elevated it is, and it's hypertension level 2. That's not good. It's just under a critical level, and the that one there is elevated, and this is after medication. And once upon a time, I ran out of medication. I wasn't organized enough to get my prescription reissued, and so for a week I went without. And because it's asymptomatic, it was very difficult to be nervous about it. And I was told by either the nurse or my general practitioner that it takes a while for the body to adjust back even after medication had been reintroduced to the body, and it means that I'm exposing my body to about 2 to 3 weeks of elevated blood pressure, and that's not good for the kidneys. So yeah, I was called out, and I think as the disease progresses, I get older as well, this is probably going to be more and more needed. But the point is that I didn't start until October. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.